Visual design is an integral part of UX design, so it's crucial for every entry-level designer to have good visual design knowledge. In today's video, I'll share with you some tips that you can leverage to create visually pleasing designs as a UX designer beginning in the field. You want to stick around to the end of this video because all the other tips I share wouldn't make sense and wouldn't be useful if you do not get around to listening and acting on the last one. So let's get right into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Let me quickly reintroduce myself for the benefit of those who are seeing me for the first time. My name is Grace Mary and I'm a product designer based in Toronto, Canada. On this channel, I create content around product design amongst other topics. So if you feel like this would interest you, I suggest that you tap the subscribe button and turn on your notification so you get notified when I publish new content, which I currently do weekly. Moving on. It shouldn't be a surprise that the ability of candidates to deliver aesthetically pleasing visuals is an important skill set recruiters look out for, amongst other things, when screening UX design portfolio. So if you're looking to get your first job as a UX designer, you should exhibit sound visual design skills. I'll pause for a second to say that this video is for people who are just beginning their UX design journey and may not be as useful for those who have years of experience in the field. For every point that I'll share, I'll follow it up with practical tips, so what I am saying isn't abstract. Okay, let's get to it. To begin, I'll suggest that you become proficient in the design software. When I started out in UX design, some of my designs were a visual nightmare, like literally, okay, figuratively. And the reason for that is because I didn't know how to execute them using Figma, and I would get frustrated and just leave it or abandon it. So as I became familiar with Figma, I was able to learn the shortcuts, and this helped me work faster and smarter. Getting familiar with your tool of choice will help you seamlessly translate that concept into a finished design. One of the best ways to learn about the tool is by exploring its official documentation. Figma, for example, has a huge repository of knowledge to help designers. They also have a YouTube channel that you can rely on for detailed guides and tutorials. And then you can also join communities or forums specific to the design software you use. They often share tips, techniques, and resources. For example, Figma has what they call Friends of Figma in different locations. So whether you're in Canada or Nigeria or in Australia, you can find that community to lean on to learn the tool better. Another way to improve in visual design is to train your eyes visually by studying and analyzing well-designed interfaces and websites. You can use websites or apps of companies that are known for their strong design culture. For example, Airbnb, Apple, and Uber. You can examine how they use colors, typography, and layout to create effective design. Take notes of the design decisions and then understand the reasoning behind them. Then you can then translate this understanding of how they did theirs into what you're doing, like in your personal projects. Alternatively, you can use platforms like Mobbins that curate screenshots from real-life digital products or awards, which highlights exceptional design projects to draw inspiration rather than leaning heavily on Dribble, Behance, and let's say Pinterest, to mention a few, which often showcase design projects that are heavily skewed towards the designer's UI skills and less on the functionality of the product. The next point is something that you've probably heard before, but I'll say it nevertheless. Becoming better in visual design as an entry-level UX designer takes time and practice. In order to get better at visual design, you need to constantly practice your visual design skills by working on personal design projects. If you're just starting out and you feel that taking on a full-on project might be overreaching, then you can start small with simple design exercises. You can also use websites like Daily UI or uidesign Daily that provides design prompts and challenges to practice your visual design skills on a regular basis. You can also attempt to replicate existing interfaces, so a website or an app of your choice. So if you're really confident, you can sign up for design challenges or hackathons. This will expose you to different perspectives. It will give you a project to practice on, and you will have the ability to showcase your skills and an opportunity to work with other designers and sometimes a cross-functional team. You can try meetup.com to find new people to work with, Bumble professionals, and Slack to mention a few. You could also ask friends and family members who own small businesses to design a website or app or revamp the old one if they already have one existing for free or for a small fee. This will be an invaluable opportunity because you are able to add this real-world project to your portfolio. So the fourth tip to level up your visual design skill I would give you today is that you need to embrace feedback as a valuable learning opportunity. Actively seek feedback from experienced designers and iterate on your designs based on the feedback and keep refining them. There is never a perfect state. This iterative process would help you improve your design skills over time. And also, it is immensely helpful to join a mentorship program or find a mentor who can provide feedback and guidance on your work. And one platform that you can consider would be ADP List. I've talked about this time and time again. Go on ADP List and find a mentor. The next thing that I would advise you to do is to seek out design communities where you can practice your visual design critique by giving others feedback on your design. By doing this, you're able to acknowledge what the problems are in other people's design, and then when you are designing, you are more likely to see that error if you're making it. There are design communities and forums on platforms like Reddit, Facebook, LinkedIn, Discord, and Slack, which offer spaces for designers to share their work and receive constructive feedback from other designers. I'm going to give you a quick tip. Knowing how to give constructive feedback is an invaluable skill you would need throughout your design journey. There are various ways to do it, but the most important thing is to acknowledge the efforts and the positives and then balance it with what can be done better when giving feedback. At the beginning of this video, I asked you to stick around for this tip, and the reason is because having an understanding of the principles of design is the most important step to creating quality visual design work. To be honest, all the other advice will mean jack if you skip this one. My advice is to familiarize yourself with elements of design such as forms, shape, colors, etc., and then move on to basic principles of design, which will teach you about concepts like contrast, hierarchy, balance, visual, and harmony, to mention a few. So once you have an understanding of these, you can even go further to understand what we call the Gestalt principles. If you want me to create a video about this, just let me know in the comment section, and fingers crossed, I'll get to it. The amazing thing is that all the resources you need can be found on Google. It's as simple as typing the topic in Google and you'll find a lot of resources to choose from. So Shift Nudge by MDS is a course that I've heard a lot of good things about in relation to learning design principles and the fundamentals, but it might be a bit pricey for the average Joe. So if you're not able to afford that, a more affordable alternative is to take courses on platforms like Udemy, Coursera, and LinkedIn Learning. You might find some courses that deal specifically with the principles of design. Remember, becoming a better visual designer takes time and consistent effort. Don't be too hard on yourself. Keep practicing regularly, and I bet that you will enhance your visual design skills over time and become a well-rounded UX designer. That's it for me, guys. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to this channel to get more videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.